Hello children, welcome again to the Affinity Digital. So today we will discuss the botany part of test number 7. So let us start with question number 1 of the paper. यहाँ पे देखिए question number 1, a heterozygous human female जीनोटाइप यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है फॉर सिकल सेल एनीमिया। काटकसुन काटक रब मैं पेन तो लोৱা নাই प्रथमखिनि काटिबने प्रथम পৰা करो। Hello children, how are you? Welcome again to Affinity Digital. Myself Utpal Pathak will be discussing the botany section of TEST-7 of our full length test. So let's start our discussion with question number 1. This is a question on principles of inheritance and variation. So a heterozygous human female genotype given here HbA HbS for sickle cell anemia. Option 1, as you know, sickle cell anemia is a autosomal recessive disorder in humans. And as you know, autosomal recessive gene produce effect only in homozygous condition. That means sickle cell anemia will be a human individual will suffer from sickle cell anemia when that particular human individual is homozygous for the sickle cell gene. That means a human individual to suffer from sickle cell anemia has to be homozygous for this sickle cell gene. That is, the genotype has to be HbS HbS. So that particular human individual only he or she will only suffer from sickle cell anemia. Okay, that means this genotype will produce the disease phenotype. Diseased phenotype. Disease phenotype. That means a human individual to suffer from sickle cell anemia has to be homozygous for the sickle cell gene. So transmit, option number 1, transmit the mutant gene to her sons only. Since sickle cell anemia is a autosomal recessive disorder, that means the sickle cell gene is a autosomal recessive gene located in human chromosome number 11. Okay, so for autosomal genes can be transmitted to both sons as well as daughters. But what has been given here? Transmit the mutant gene to her sons only. That means can transmit this mutant gene, that is HbS, to both sons and daughters होना चाहिए, लेकिन यहाँ पे only sons दिया है, इसलिए this option is not correct. Has 50% chance of transmitting the mutant gene to her progeny. That means this human female which is human female, or it may be a human male also, okay, which is heterozygous for sickle cell gene. These human individuals are called carriers of the sickle cell gene, and carriers can transmit this mutant gene. Carriers can transmit mutant gene both to sons as well as what? Daughters. That means has 50% chance. A carrier has 50% chance to pass the mutant gene to the progeny, that is both males child as well as female child. So this option is correct. Shows the disease phenotype. These individuals which are heterozygous for the sickle cell gene shows the disease phenotype. They do not shows the disease phenotype. They shows the sickle cell trait, because individuals which are heterozygous for sickle cell gene, okay, 30%, about 30% of the RBC, the RBCs become sickle cell. That means sickle cell, they show the sickle cell trait, because some of their RBC become sickle cell. They shows the sickle cell trait, but they do not suffer from sickle cell anemia. तो यहाँ पे क्या था, shows the disease phenotype. So this is wrong and dies as childhood. This is wrong. Okay, they are carriers. They are not. Carriers are phenotypically normal, are apparently not affected. So, लेकिन यहाँ पे disease phenotype दिया is apparently normal and does not pass the mutant gene to the progeny. They pass the mutant gene or do not pass this mutant gene. They pass the mutant gene to the progeny. Both can be male, both to the male progeny as well as female progeny. So, moving on to the next question. Mark the wrong statement. So, the earlier question का आंसर होगा ऑप्शन नंबर 2. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, that is 102. This is another question on genetics, that is principles of inheritance and variation, where you have to find the wrong match. Turner syndrome, it is a chromosomal disorder. Yes, correct. And what type of chromosomal disorder? It is a sex monosomy of sex chromosome. So it is a chromosomal, यहाँ पे simply दिया है, so chromosomal disorder, correct. Sickle cell anemia is a classical example of point mutation. And what are point gene mutation? Point gene mutation are those mutations where there is change in only one base pair of a gene. Okay, so sickle cell anemia is a classic example of point mutation. Klinefelter syndrome, it has been matched with autosomal trisomy. So Klinefelter syndrome is not an autosomal trisomy. It should be what? It is sex chromosomal trisomy, not autosomal trisomy. Sex chromosomal trisomy. And what is the genetic composition of individuals with Klinefelter syndrome? 44 autosomes plus X, Y. In normal human individuals, how many sex chromosomes are there? 2 sex chromosomes. In normal male, X and Y. In normal female, XX. लेकिन यहाँ पे one extra copy of X chromosome is there. That means total sex chromosome कितना हुआ? 3 है. So it is a example of Klinefelter syndrome, actually represent sex chromosomal trisomy, not autosomal trisomy. So this is the wrongly matched option. So this will be the answer. Color blindness, sex-linked recessive disorder. Okay, so this is also correct. So answer will be, the wrong match will be option number 3. Klinefelter, yeah, these I have written in this, everything I have written in these solutions, you just go through later on. Next question है ये, this is another question on genetics. Individuals with which of the following genotypes produce 4 different gametes, 4 different types of gametes. So there is a formula to find out that different types of gametes produced by the individual is 2 to the power n, where n is equal to, n is what? Where n is number of heterozygous condition represented in the genotype. Okay, so यहाँ पे heterozygous state कितना, इस जीनोटाइप में heterozygous state कितना है? 1, 2, 3. So this genotype will produce 8 different types of gametes, because n here will be 3. So 2 to the power 3 is 8. So लेकिन यहाँ पे 4 types of gametes दिया. So in this genotype कितना heterozygous state है? ये genotype पे ये एक है, ये दूसरा है. So here 2 to the power n, that means n का वैल्यू कितना होगा? 2 होगा. 2 to the power 2 equal to 4. So ये होगा आंसर. तो यहाँ पे कितना heterozygous state है? 1 है. So this genotype will produce 2 types of gametes only, and this genotype will produce डी जीनोटाइप विल, यहाँ पे कितना हेटेरोजाइगस स्टेट है? 3 हेटेरोजाइगस स्टेट है, 8 टाइप्स ऑफ गेमेट्स होगा, लेकिन यहाँ पे 4 टाइप्स ऑफ गेमेट्स. दे आर आस्किंग यू अबाउट 4 डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ गेमेट्स एंड व्हिच जीनोटाइप विल रिप्रेजेंट दैट. सो ऑप्शन नंबर 2 विल बी द आंसर. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Next question is state true or false for the following statements and choose the correct answer from the options given below them. Bacteria are structurally very simple, correct, but are very complex in behavior. So this is true. Methanogens are present in the gut of several ruminant animals. Can you name some ruminant animals? Cows, buffaloes, goat, sheep, deer, giraffe, etc. So this is also true. Trypanosoma, it is a flagellate protozoan. Trypanosoma is a flagellate protozoan. It is a pathogenic flagellate protozoan that causes sleeping sickness disease in humans. Have cilia, ये cilia नहीं होना चाहिए, यहाँ पे flagella होना चाहिए. So इसके लिए ये ऑप्शन रॉन्ग हो गया. So ये false है. So आंसर will be true, true, false. True, true, false कहाँ है? True, option number 3 will be the answer. Option number 3. ठीक है. Next question. The intervening dikaryophase n plus n is found in the sexual cycle of all except. See, the intervening dikaryophase is found in the sexual cycle of the fungi belonging to Ascomycetes and Basidiomycetes. फाइकोमाइसिटीज में जो फंगी है उसमें डाइकैरियोटिक फेज नहीं होता है. सो इसलिए इस ऑप्शंस में से कौन सा एस्कोमाइसिटस फंगी है, कौन सा बेसिडोमाइसिस? न्यूरोस्पोरा एस्कोमाइसिटस फंगी, इंटरवेनिंग डाइकैरियोफेज प्रेजेंट. एगारिकस बिलोंग्स टू बेसिडोमाइसिटीज, सो इंटरवेनिंग डाइकैरियोफेज प्रेजेंट. पेनिसिलियम बिलोंग्स टू एस्कोमाइसिटीज, इंटरवेनिंग डाइकैरियोफेज इज प्रेजेंट. एल्बुगो इज ए फाइकोमाइसिटस फंगी, Phycomycetes fungi. Phycomycetes fungi. It belongs to Phycomycetes. So intervening dikaryophase Phycomycetes fungi में नहीं मिलता है. So इसलिए आंसर will be option number 4, क्योंकि यहाँ पे एक्सेप्ट दिया है. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट. सो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. तो इसका सॉल्यूशन इंटरवेनिंग डाइकैरियोफेज इज प्रेजेंट. सो ऑप्शन नंबर 4 था. ठीक है. Okay, next question is question number 106. Which one is not a correct statement for viroids? ये क्वेश्चन कौन सा चैप्टर से आया है? तो ये this particular question is from chapter biological classification. So and they are asking you about which one is not a correct statement for viroids. Viroids are infectious free RNA. True. ये करेक्ट है, सही है. द आरएनए ऑफ द वायरॉइड इज ऑफ, यह हाई नहीं होगा, यहाँ पे लो मॉलिक्यूलर वेट होना चाहिए. सो इसलिए ये फॉल्स है. आपको क्या निकालने को दिया है? तो नॉट ए इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. सो ये होगा आंसर. पोटैटो स्पिंडल ट्यूबर डिजीज इज कॉज्ड बाय वायरॉइड. ट्रू. ये फॉल्स था. Okay, viroids are smaller than viruses and discovered by T.O. Diner. True. So incorrect statement कौन सा है? Option number 2. So option number 2 होगा इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर. Next question. The roots of which one of the following plants contains a nitrogen fixing autotrophic microorganism? See, pea, soybean, these are legume plants. Or legume plants have some swellings on the root called root nodules. These root nodules are formed by multiple interaction between rhizobium and the legume plant. And inside the root nodule cells of legumes, a nitrogen fixing bacteria called rhizobium is found. And rhizobium is heterotrophic. लेकिन यहाँ पे क्या दिया है? autotrophic. अल्नास इज ए नॉन लेग्यूम प्लांट. उसका रूट में रूट नोड्यूल्स है, लेकिन उसका रूट नोड्यूल सेल्स में एक फिलामेंटस नाइट्रोजन फिक्सिंग हेटेरोट्रोपिक बैक्टीरिया कॉल्ड फ्रैंकिया रहता है. सो फ्रैंकिया इज हेटेरोट्रोपिक, दो इट इज नाइट्रोजन फिक्सिंग. नाइट्रोजन फिक्स करता है इन द रूट नोड्यूल्स सेल्स ऑफ एल्नास। ओके, लेकिन ये फ्रैंकिया जो है हेटेरोट्रोपिक है, लेकिन सो आंसर होगा साइकास। साइकास का जो साइकास इज ए जिम्नोस्पर्म, इट इज ए लिविंग फॉसिल, इट इज ए जिम्नोस्पर्म। इसका जो मेन रूट है टैप रूट होता है। ओके, बट द मेन रूट सिस्टम ऑफ साइकास इज टैप रूट। इन एडिशन टू द मेन रूट, साइकास हैव adventitious root called coralloid roots, and the coralloid, just inside of the skin of coralloid roots, a nitrogen fixing filamentous cyanobacteria called Anabina cycadi is found. And since all cyanobacteria are autotrophic, so answer will be cycas. So the roots of which one of the following plants contain nitrogen fixing autotrophic microorganism? आंसर इज साइकास। और वो ऑटोट्रोपिक माइक्रोऑर्गेनिज्म का नाम क्या है? एनाबिना साइकाडी। तो यहाँ पे मैंने लिख दिया एनाबिना साइकाडी, which is also autotropic as well as nitrogen fixing. So answer will be option number 4. Next question 108, question number 108. Bryophytes and pteridophytes require external water for the transfer of, आंसर होगा मेल गेमेट्स। क्यों? बोथ मेल एंड फीमेल गेमेट्स, रॉन्ग। तो ये आंसर फीमेल गेमेट्स ओनली, रॉन्ग, स्पोर्स रॉन्ग। सो सिंस ब्रायोफाइट्स एंड टेरिडोफाइट्स प्रोड्यूस मोटाइल मेल गेमेट्स having flagella or you can say cilia. As you know, bryophytes are eukaryotes, and जो यूकेरियोट्स में फ्लैजिला और cilia है, the internal structure is same, having 9+2 pattern of microtubules. Okay, and the male gametes of both bryophytes and pteridophytes are motile because they have flagella or cilia. Okay, and flagella and cilia are swimming devices, and for swimming and a medium is required, and the medium is provided by external water. But the female gamete of bryophytes and pteridophytes is stationary and remains within the archegonia. So, during the time of fertilization, the motile male gametes of bryophytes and pteridophytes are transferred by external water to achieve their internal fertilization. So, इसलिए आंसर होगा ये ऑप्शन नंबर 1. So, both bryophytes and pteridophytes produce motile male gametes that are flagellate or ciliate male gametes. The female gametes is non-motile and remains within the archegonia. Archegonium क्या है? Bryophytes and pteridophytes का female sex organ का नाम क्या है? Archegonium. To achieve internal fertilization, both male and female gametes, the motile male gametes are transferred to archegonia by external water. Option number 1. Next, which of the following occurs in meiosis but not in mitosis? This is a question on cell cycle and cell division chapter. So, option number 1 occurs in meiosis but not in mitosis. Chromosome replication. Chromosome replication का दूसरा नाम है DNA replication. Because DNA by the process of during cell division, DNA by the process of condensation, by the process of packaging, they becomes chromosome. So chromosome replication को कभी कभी बोलता है DNA replication. DNA replication is also called DNA synthesis. Chromosome replication occurs both during mitosis as well as meiosis. So दोनों में होता है. Synapsis मतलब pairing of physical association or physical pairing of homologous chromosome. ये इसको बोलता है साइनेप्सिस, एंड साइनेप्सिस ऑकर्स ओनली इन जाइगोटिन फेज ऑफ प्रोफेज 1 ऑफ मियोसिस 1 ओनली, नेवर ऑकर्स इन माइटोसिस. सो व्हिच वन ऑकर्स इन मियोसिस बट नॉट इन? तो ये होगा आंसर. तो कंडेंसेशन ऑफ क्रोमेटिड ऑकर्स इन बोथ माइटोसिस एंड मियोसिस. Alignment of chromosome at the spindle equator occurs in at what phase of mitosis? Alignment of the chromosome align at the spindle equator at metaphase. At what phase of meiosis 1 chromosomes align at the spindle equator? That is metaphase 1 of meiosis 1 as well as metaphase 2 of meiosis 2. So alignment of chromosome at spindle equator दोनों में होता है. लो ये synapsis of chromosome only occurs in meiosis, इसलिए आंसर होगा ऑप्शन नंबर 2. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन 110. Which of the following does not correctly matches a phase of cell cycle with its function? Z2 phase, Z2, G1, G1, S and G2 is equal to interphase. Interphase is followed by M phase. That M phase is generally called mitotic phase, or if it is meiosis, it is called meiotic phase. ठीक है, G2 phase of interphase में क्या होता है? Period of cytoplasm होगा. Correct या wrong? Correct. G1 phase correctly matched. Okay, G1 phase most of the organelle duplication occurs. ये भी correct है. Except centriole. Centriole duplication होता है सिर्फ S phase में. G1 phase में बाकी membrane bound organelle all the other organelle duplicates at G1 phase. So ये भी correct matched है. Okay, interphase, phase of preparation for cell division, true, as you know, discussed very nicely in the class. Okay, S phase में क्या होता है? DNA, every molecule of DNA inside the nucleus replicates, as a result of which number of DNA is double at the end of S phase. That means amount of DNA of the cell doubles at the end of S phase and immediately after S phase. Okay, but chromosome number remains same. लेकिन क्या दिया? Doubling of number of chromosome. Chromosome number remains same. There is no doubling of chromosome. Now amount of DNA doubles, but there is no doubling. Chromosome number remains same. That means there is no doubling of chromosome number. यहाँ पे doubling of number of chromosome दिया. इसलिए this phase is wrongly matched with this item. So answer, so wrongly matched will be option number 4. So answer for this particular question is option number 4. During S phase, DNA replication occurs. So everything I have written is just go through later on about these solutions. Okay, question. Moving on to the next question. In meiosis, nuclear membrane and nucleolus disappears during. See, nuclear membrane in meiosis, nuclear membrane and nucleolus disappears in diakinesis of prophase 1 of meiosis 1. Again, in meiosis 2, nuclear envelope and nucleolus disintegrate and disappears during prophase 2 of meiosis 2. So, इसमें तो क्या है? इसमें से कौन सा आंसर होगा? ऑप्शन नंबर 4 होगा. ठीक है, ऑप्शन नंबर 4. ठीक है, मैं यहाँ पे सब कुछ लिख दिया. प्रोफेज 1 ऑफ meiosis 1, प्रोफेज 2 ऑफ meiosis 2, न्यूक्लियर एनवेलप न्यूक्लियोलस डिसइंटीग्रेट. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, क्वेश्चन नंबर 112. आइडेंटिफाई द इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. Kinetochores are found on the sides of centromere. So let me draw a metaphase chromosome. Okay, so this is one chromatid, this is one chromatid. So I am drawing a metaphase chromosome, one chromatid. There is a linear double-stranded DNA present in this chromatid, linear double-stranded DNA, and the same DNA is present in the other chromatid of the same chromosome. That is why these two chromatids of metaphase chromosome are called sister chromatid. And on both sides of the centromere, centromere is also called primary constriction. सब क्रोमोसोम में सेंट्रोमियर होता है. सेंट्रोमियर का दूसरा नाम क्या है? प्राइमरी कॉन्स्ट्रिक्शन. So on both sides of the centromere, that is primary constriction. This is the primary constriction called centromere. ये centromere है. Centromere का दोनों साइड में क्या है? disc shape proteinaceous structures called kinetochores are present. Kinetochore. इस क्रोमोसोम में 2 kinetochore है. ठीक है, अच्छा. So kinetochores are found on the sides of the primary constriction. Primary constriction का दूसरा नाम क्या है? Centromere of a chromosome. True. Mitosis is restricted to diploid cells only. ये false है. Mitosis in animals, mitosis occurs in diploid cells. But there are some exceptions. For example, some social insects like male honeybee are haploid. So male honeybee grows by mitosis. So mitosis occurs in haploid cell in male honeybee. So, and in plants, mitosis occurs in both haploid and diploid cells in plants. So यहाँ पे क्या दिया है? Mitosis is restricted only to diploid cells. So this is false. So ये होगा आंसर. Incorrect निकालने को दिया है. ठीक है. Liquid endosperm in coconut is called syncytium, and syncytium is formed by syncytium is a multinucleated cell which is formed by repeated karyokinesis not followed by cytokinesis. So liquid endosperm is coconut is formed when karyokinesis is not followed by. So this is also true. Okay, and liquid endosperm coconut को क्या बोलता है? syncytium बोलता है. 4 haploid cells are formed at the end of meiosis 2. So this is true. So incorrect statement कौन सा है? ऑप्शन नंबर 2. ऑप्शन नंबर 2. ठीक है. ओके, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Which of the following molecules protect the nitrogenase enzyme of rhizobium from oxygen poisoning during rhizobium legume association? Okay, so answer is leg hemoglobin. Oxygen scavenger called leg hemoglobin होता है. So ये है आंसर. यूराइज नहीं होगा, एमोनिया नहीं होगा, अल्फा कीटोग्लूटारिक नहीं होगा. So leg hemoglobin protects the nitrogenase of rhizobium from getting oxidized by molecular oxygen, because and rhizobium is very sensitive, as you know that rhizobium is as you know that nitrogenase is very sensitive to oxygen. So nitrogenase of rhizobium during nitrogen fixing events in rhizobium legume symbiosis, nitrogenase of rhizobium is protected from the attack of molecular oxygen by the oxygen scavenger called leg hemoglobin. This is leg hemoglobin is called the oxygen scavenger found in the root nodules of legume. Oxygen scavenger, VEN, oxygen scavenger. So answer will be option number 2. Okay, the enzyme nitrogenase is sensitive to what? Molecular oxygen. In rhizobium legumes, nitrogenase is protected from oxygen scavenger called leg hemoglobin. Moving on to the next question. The exons are interrupted. Interrupted मतलब intervene by introns. कहाँ पे होगा? The HNRNA. HNRNA full form क्या है? Heterogeneous nuclear RNA. It is non-functional. Okay, the HNRNA, it is also called pre-RNA. It is also called the primary transcripts in eukaryotes. It is non-functional just because this RNA contains coding nucleotide sequence called exons, coding or express nucleotide regions called exons, and these exons are intervened or interrupted by the presence of some non-coding nucleotide sequences called introns. Due to the presence of introns, the HNRNA of eukaryotes is non-functional. That is why it is subjected, to make it functional, it is subjected to a thorough processing called RNA processing that involves 3 steps: capping, स्प्लाइसिंग एंड टेलिंग. और स्प्लाइसिंग में क्या होता है? जितना सारा इंट्रॉन्स HNRNA में है सबको रिमूव कर देता है with the help of assembly of snaps called spliciosome, and then adjacent exons are joined, spliced together by enzyme RNA ligase to make these HNRNA functional. And this process HNRNA को बोलता है mature mRNA और प्रोसेस्ड mRNA. सो प्रोसेस्ड mRNA का दूसरा नाम क्या है? मैच्योर mRNA. मैच्योर और प्रोसेस्ड mRNA में इंट्रॉन्स नहीं रहता है, ठीक है. सो लेकिन यहां पे क्या था? एक्सॉन्स एंड आर इंटरएक्टेड बाय इंट्रॉन. दैट मींस एक्सॉन्स इंट्रॉन्स दोनों है तो कहां होगा? HNRNA. तो आंसर विल बी ऑप्शन नंबर 3, ठीक है. तो यहां पे मैंने डिटेल सॉल्यूशन देके रखा है, तो यू जस्ट गो थ्रू योरसेल्फ आफ्टरवर्ड्स, ठीक है. Then next question. More than 50,000 different varieties of rice occur in India due to, आंसर क्या होगा? ये तो इजी है, जेनेटिक डाइवर्सिटी. स्पीसीज डाइवर्सिटी नहीं होगा, बाकी कम्युनिटी डाइवर्सिटी, इकोलॉजिकल डाइवर्सिटी. सो आंसर विल बी ऑप्शन नंबर 1. Option number 1. A single species might show high degree of diversity at the genetic level over its distributional range. ठीक है. Next question. The only solution for the treatment of electronic waste is pyrolysis. Pyrolysis क्या है? Heating of biomass at a very high temperature, that is temperature at 500 degrees Celsius or even above in the absence of oxygen, उसको बोलता है pyrolysis. लेकिन यहाँ पे क्या था? Only solution for treatment of electronic waste is nothing but what? Recycling. So answer for question number 16 will be option number 2. Recycling is the only solution for treatment of electronic waste. The exile presentation is found. Exile presentation आप लोग जानते हैं कि exile present आप लोग already जानते हैं कि exile presentation is the most common type of presentation. So exile presentation is found in all except lemon में exile presentation है, yes. ऑरेंज में एक्साइल प्रेजेंटेशन है, यस। लेमन एंड ऑरेंज बिलोंग टू व्हिच जेनर? साइट्रस, सो साइट्रस में एक्साइल प्रेजेंटेशन है। चाइना रोज में भी एक्साइल प्रेजेंटेशन है। मस्टर्ड बिलोंग टू द मस्टर्ड फैमिली कॉल्ड ब्रेसिकेसी, ब्रेसिकेसी दैट इज द मस्टर्ड फैमिली में क्या प्रेजेंटेशन है? पैराइटल, सो इसमें क्या पैराइटल, क्या प्रेजेंटेशन है मस्टर्ड में? पैराइटल प्रेजेंटेशन, नॉट एक्साइल, सो आंसर विल बी एक्सेप्ट दिया है, सो आंसर विल बी ऑप्शन नंबर 4। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, parietal presentation found in mustard is parietal. Next question, which one is not a defining feature of living organism? Metabolism is found in all living organism. That means when you talk about metabolism, it defines all living organism. So this is a defining feature of living organism. Cellular organization, all living organisms are composed of cell, as you know. That means cellular organizations of word दिमाग में आएगा, it defines all living organisms because all living organisms are composed of cells and products of cells. Consciousness, that means all living organisms are aware of environment and can respond to different types of external stimuli. This phenomenon को बोलता है consciousness. That means what is happening in the environment, all living organisms are aware of that. So that is called consciousness. So consciousness is found in all living organisms. But self-consciousness is found only in human being. लेकिन consciousness is found in all living organisms without any exceptions. लेकिन growth is found. If we consider increase in body mass as the criterion for growth, then we will say that growth occurs in both living and non-living things. But the kind of growth that occurs in non-living things, it is by deposition of materials on the surface. That growth in non-living things is called extrinsic growth or external growth. But growth in living organism takes place by the increase in the amount of protoplasm, resulting in increased mass of the cells. That is called intrinsic growth. लेकिन यहाँ पे intrinsic growth, extrinsic growth, like growth दिया है. So growth, when you speak about growth, does it define all living or does it defines only living organisms? No, growth also defines non-living things because growth has been observed in non-living things also. When you consider increase in body mass as the criterion of growth. So which one is not a defining feature of growth? So answer will be option number 4. Option number 4. ठीक है, यहाँ पे दिया if you consider body mass as criterion of growth also occurs in non-living things. Next question number 119. It is a bit long type of question on morphology chapter. So match the symptoms used in floral formula in column 1 with the example given in column 2. This is a symbol used in floral formula that represents zygomorphic flower. And इसमें से zygomorphic flower कहाँ होता है? Fabaceous plants में. Fabaceous plants यहाँ पे कहाँ है? Sunham. So zygomorphic flower found in Sunham. Okay. So A2. This C5. C means corolla. Corolla is made up of petals. कितना पेटल है? 5. डायरेक्टली 5 क्यों लिखा है? क्योंकि देयर इज नो साइज डिफरेंस बिटवीन द पेटल्स. एंड ब्रैकेट दिया है यहाँ पे, दैट मीन्स ऑल द पेटल्स ऑफ द कोरोला आर फ्यूज, गेमोपेटेलस. देन ए मीन्स एंड्रोसियम. एंड्रोसियम का इंडिविजुअल पार्ट्स का नाम क्या है? स्टेमेंस. कितना स्टेमेंस यहाँ पे? 5. दे आर फ्री फ्रॉम ईच अदर और नॉट फ्री, इसलिए ब्रैकेट नहीं आया. बट द स्टेमेंस आर डेवलपिंग, स्टेमेंस आर born from the petals. When stamens are fused with petals, a bar is given like this. A bar connects C with A. This represents epipetala stamens. Epipetellus condition बोलता है इसको. ठीक है. So epipetellus condition of androecium is found in all plants belonging to Solanaceae. इसमें से Solanaceae कौन सा प्लांट है? तो ये है. So B1, this A plus 2, A means androecium, 2 plus 4, that means total 6 stamens है. Outer 2 short and inner 4 long. This condition of androecium को बोलता है tetradynamous condition. And tetradynamous condition of androecium is found in mustard family. And mustard का botanical name क्या है? Brassica campestris. So this will be A. This is mustard. ठीक है. Mustard plants belong to which genus? Brassica. So C4. and this symbol represent tricarpellary syncarpous gynoecium. Tricarpellary syncarpous gynoecium is found in all plants belonging to Liliaceae. Liliaceae family का यहाँ पे कौन सा plant दिया हुआ है? तो tulip. So B4. So A2, B1, C4, D3. So तो आंसर होगा हाँ A2, B1, C4, D3. ठीक है, D3. सो आंसर होगा ऑप्शन नंबर 2. ऑप्शन नंबर 2. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. साइट्रिक एसिड साइकिल एंड ग्लाइकोलाइसिस आर सिमिलर टू ईच अदर इन एज बोथ takes place in cytosol of eukaryotes. No, citric acid cycle occurs in the mitochondrial matrix. In eukaryotic cell, glycolysis in both prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell, glycolysis always occurs in the cytoplasm. In eukaryotic cell, citric acid cycle occurs in the matrix of the mitochondria. तो यहाँ पे दोनों that takes place in the cytosol of eukaryotic cell. So ये wrong है, false. ये correct नहीं है, तो ये wrong है. ठीक है. Takes place in mitochondrial matrix. दोनों mitochondrial matrix में नहीं होता है. ठीक है, तो ये wrong है. Shows substrate level phosphorylation. Okay. So formation of ATP by procuring the phosphate from the substrate added to ADP to make ATP is called substrate level phosphorylation. Substrate level phosphorylation glycolysis में भी होता है, citric acid cycle में भी होता है. So answer will be option number 1. Option number 3 are common to citric acid cycle and glycolysis. Are they common to aerobic and anaerobic respiration? No. Citric acid cycle is a particular phase of aerobic respiration only. ठीक है, aerobic respiration. They are not common to both are not common to both aerobic and anaerobic respiration. But glycolysis is common to both aerobic and anaerobic respiration. But citric acid cycle is a particular biosynthetic pathway. It is found only in what? Only in aerobic respiration. So answer will be option number 3. So both the glycolysis and citric acid shows substrate level phosphorylation. Option number 121. Option number 121. The chromosome that have satellite have what? Secondary constriction. दुनिया का सारा क्रोमोसोम में प्राइमरी कॉन्स्ट्रिक्शन है. प्राइमरी कॉन्स्ट्रिक्शन का दूसरा नाम है सेंट्रोमियर. सब क्रोमोसोम में सेंट्रोमियर होता है, मतलब प्राइमरी कॉन्स्ट्रिक्शन होता है. लेकिन जो क्रोमोसोम में सैटेलाइट होता है वहां पे एक एडिशनल कॉन्स्ट्रिक्शन होता है जिसका नाम है सेकेंडरी कॉन्स्ट्रिक्शन. लैक सेंट्रोमियर? नो. सो हैव सेकेंडरी कॉन्स्ट्रिक्शन होगा आंसर. आर फाउंड इन, दैट मींस द क्रोमोसोम दैट हैव सैटेलाइट आर कॉल्ड सैटेलाइट क्रोमोसोम. Are found in are not found in, they are found. There are 5 human chromosome, 5 pairs of human chromosome जहां पे सैटेलाइट होता है, सेकेंडरी कॉन्स्ट्रिक्शन होता है. सो ये रॉन्ग है, नॉट फाउंड दिया, ये फाउंड होगा. ठीक है, हैव प्राइमरी कॉन्स्ट्रिक्शन ओनली. दुनिया का सारा क्रोमोसोम में प्राइमरी कॉन्स्ट्रिक्शन और सेंट्रोमियर होता है, लेकिन सेकेंडरी कॉन्स्ट्रिक्शन, दोज क्रोमोसोम व्हिच हैव सैटेलाइट, दे आल्सो हैव व्हाट? सेकेंडरी कॉन्स्ट्रिक्शन. इसलिए ये रॉन्ग है. ठीक है, आंसर विल बी ऑप्शन नंबर 2. Option number 2. Next question. Biodiversity hotspots are regions. Biodiversity hotspots are priority areas of in situ conservation of wildlife. ठीक है? And how many total hotspots of biodiversity at present? The total hotspots of biodiversity at present in the world is 34. So hotspots are regions of high levels of species richness and high degree of endemism. True. Regions of accelerated habitat loss. ये भी true है. Priority areas of in situ conservation. In situ conservation, that means conservation of wildlife in its natural habitat. Okay, so in situ conservation, true. So answer will be all of the above. Option number 4. Option number 4 will be the answer. ठीक है, मैंने यहाँ पे solution में सब कुछ लिख दिया है. अच्छा, next, moving on to the next question. This is a question on strategies for enhancement in food production chapter. Atlas 66 is a what? It is a improved variety of wheat variety. It is a wheat variety that have higher protein content compared to the compared to the existing cultivated varieties of wheat. A wheat variety resistant to leaf and wrong. A wheat variety having higher protein content compared to the existing cultivated variety, true. तो ये होगा आंसर, ठीक है. Vitamin A rich variety of carrot, no. Vitamin C rich variety of vitamin C enriched variety of bitter gourd, wrong. So answer will be option number 2, ठीक है. ऑप्शन नंबर 2. तो ये जो क्वेश्चन है, ये जो ऑप्शन है किसके लिए है? ये हिमगिरी, एक इम्प्रूव वेराइटी ऑफ व्हीट कॉल्ड हिमगिरी. Himgiri is a variety of wheat which is resistant, which has been found to be resistant to leaf and stripe rust as well as hillbunt fungus. Okay, that variety of wheat is Himgiri, not Atlas 60. Atlas 60 is higher protein content. Okay, option number 2. Next question. Question 100. The part of coconut which is fibrous and stony hard are respectively, कौन सा होगा? सो व्हिच पार्ट ऑफ कोकोनट का कौन सा पार्ट फाइब्रस है? मेसोकार्प होगा और स्टोनी हार्ड कौन सा होगा? एंडोकार्प. बिकॉज कोकोनट इज ए ड्रू फ्रूट. दुनिया का सारा ड्रू फ्रूट में एंडोकार्प इज हार्ड एंड स्टोनी. सो कोकोनट इज ऑल्सो ए ड्रू फ्रूट. सो हार्ड एंड स्टोनी कौन सा? एंडोकार्प. सो कौन सा होगा? तो इसका होगा मेसोकार्प, इसके लिए होगा एंडोकार्प. सो मेसोकार्प एंड एंडोकार्प विल बी द आंसर. सो ऑप्शन नंबर 4 विल बी द आंसर, ठीक है. Next question. In muscles during exercise, when oxygen is inadequate for aerobic respiration, then pyruvic acid, which is, as you know, pyruvic acid is the end product of glycolysis, and in muscles during exercise, when oxygen becomes insufficient, means inadequate for to perform aerobic respiration, then pyruvic acid का किस्मत क्या होगा? Pyruvic acid will be reduced to lactic acid होगा, reduced to lactic acid, not oxidized to lactic acid. So answer will be option number 125. Option number 2 will be the answer. ठीक है? Option number 2. Reduced. Pyruvic acid is reduced to lactic acid by a reducing agent called NADH plus H plus that is generated during glycolysis. Achha, if oxygen is level with O18, this O18 is a radioactive isotope of oxygen, then which of the molecule will become radioactive as glycolysis, TSC cycle and oxidative phosphorylation in ETS are completed? So what is the role of oxygen in aerobic respiration? Oxygen is the final acceptor of what? Oxygen is half mole of oxygen plus 2 electrons. Oxygen is the final acceptor of electron that comes to the ETS and get reduced to water after accepting hydrogen in the form of proton and get reduced to what? Water. Oxygen get reduced. So if this oxygen is labeled is radioactive oxygen, that is O18, then which of the following molecule will be radioactive? So answer will be what? Water. So this should be option number 2 होना चाहिए, ठीक है? ये option number 2 होना चाहिए, ठीक है? Option number 2 होना चाहिए. So option number 2. In aerobic, oxygen acts as the final acceptor of electron that comes to the ETS and get reduced to what? Water after accepting hydrogen in the form of. So option number 2, that is water, ठीक है? Okay. A genetic disorder in humans in which there is an excess of beta globin chain. Okay. So answer is thalassemia. Thalassemia is a quantitative blood disease in humans, and thalassemia two main types of thalassemia, alpha thalassemia and beta thalassemia. In all types of thalassemia there is reduced synthesis of normal alpha globin chain or normal beta globin chain. So in alpha thalassemia there is reduced synthesis of alpha globin chain, and in beta thalassemia there is reduced synthesis of beta globin chain. So when there is reduced synthesis of alpha globin chain, there will be excess of what? Beta globin chain. So answer will be alpha thalassemia. So in alpha thalassemia there is reduced synthesis of correctly formed what? Alpha globin chain, resulting in excess of beta globin chain. Option number 2 will be the answer. ठीक है? Option number 2. Next question. Which of the following elements is required for the synthesis of oxygen in higher plane? So answer, oxygen के लिए oxygen synthesis कौन सा mineral element चाहिए? Answer will be zinc. So answer will be zinc. Next question is, condensation of chromosome is completed by which one of the? See, condensation of the chromosomal material is initiated at prophase and continues throughout prophase and ends at metaphase. So is completed दिया है, completed by which of the following stages? So answer will be metaphase. So option number 1. Option number 1. Condensation of chromosome begins during prophase and completed by metaphase. Option number 1. Question number 130. The hydrolytic enzymes of lysosomes are, so as you know, lysosomes are digestive compartments of the cell, and lysosome contains almost all types of hydrolytic enzymes that can hydrolyze or degrade or almost all types of macromolecules. Okay, the hydrolytic enzymes of lysosome, for their functioning, they require acidic pH in its lumen. So optimally active at acidic pH. ठीक है, ऑप्शन नंबर 2. ऑप्शन नंबर 2. ये क्वेश्चन था सेल यूनिट ऑफ लाइफ चैप्टर का. सो व्हिच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग बैक्टीरिया यूजेस reduce nitrate present in soil into molecular nitrogen? So answer will be denitrifying bacteria. क्या बैक्टीरिया? denitrifying बैक्टीरिया. डीनाइट्रीफाइंग बैक्टीरिया क्या करता है? जो नाइट्रेट सॉइल में है उनको रिड्यूस करता है, कहां तक? मॉलिक्यूलर नाइट्रोजन. इस प्रोसेस को बोलता है डीनाइट्रिफिकेशन. डीनाइट्रिफिकेशन कौन कराता है? सम सॉइल बैक्टीरिया कॉल्ड डीनाइट्रीफाइंग बैक्टीरिया. एग्जांपल ऑफ डीनाइट्रीफाइंग बैक्टीरिया Pseudomonas as well as Thiobacillus. तो इसमें से कौन सा डीनाइट्रीफाइंग बैक्टीरिया? सीडोमोनास दिया हुआ है. सो आंसर विल बी ऑप्शन नंबर 4. ठीक है, ऑप्शन नंबर 4. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. नंबर ऑफ कार्बन्स इन द प्राइमरी कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एक्सेप्टर इन C3 प्लेन एंड C4 प्लेन. प्राइमरी एक्सेप्टर ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. सो व्हाट इज द प्राइमरी एक्सेप्टर ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इन C3 प्लेन? इट इज ए कीटोज 5 कार्बन कीटोज सुगर कॉल्ड राइबोलोज 1,5-बिसफॉस्फेट. ओके, सो 5 कार्बन, इसमें 5 कार्बन होगा और C4 प्लेन्स के लिए होगा. द प्राइमरी एक्सेप्टर ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज एन ऑर्गेनिक एसिड कॉल्ड 3-फॉस्फोग्लिसरिक एसिड. 3-फॉस्फोग्लिसरिक एसिड में कितना कार्बन है? 3 है. सो आंसर विल बी 5 कार्बन कंपाउंड फॉर C3 प्लेन्स, 3 कार्बन कंपाउंड फॉर C4 प्लेन्स. ये 5 कार्बन. सो सॉल्यूशन देखिए, प्राइमरी एक्सेप्टर ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड C3 प्लेन्स, 5 कार्बन कीटोज सुगर ribulose phosphorus, and in for C4 plants it is an organic acid called phosphoenol pyruvate. 3 carbon organic acid called phosphoenol. So option number 2 होगा. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. द C4 pathway of carbon dioxide fixation is an adaptation of plants found in कहाँ? ड्राई ट्रॉपिकल एरियाज. सो ड्राई ट्रॉपिकल एरियाज इस ऑप्शन में से कहाँ है? ऑप्शन नंबर 2 में. सो क्वेश्चन नंबर 133 ऑप्शन नंबर 2 होगा आंसर. Next question, question number 134. It is statement based question. C4 planes uses Kelvin as the biosynthetic pathway. This is true or false? True. क्यों true है? क्योंकि C4 planes uses Kelvin pathway, that is Kelvin cycle, that is C3 cycle, that is dark reaction as the main biosynthetic pathway, because it is through the Kelvin cycle sugars are produced in the plant. So that is why it is true. In C4 plants, occurrence of C4 pathway in C4 plants ensures that Rubisco functions as a carboxylase, minimizing its oxygenase activity. In C4 plant, there is an additional carbon dioxide fixation pathway called Hertz-Slack pathway, also called C4 pathway. And Hertz-Slack pathway, due to the occurrence of Hertz-Slack pathway, the intracellular carbon dioxide concentration in the bundle sheath cells at the active site of Rubisco is always kept higher, so that Rubisco of C4 plants always fix carbon dioxide and shows carboxylase activity to carry out the Kelvin cycle or dark reaction almost in an uninterrupted way, thus minimizing the oxygenase activity of Rubisco. So both statements are true. Both statements are true. So both statements, option number, ये wrong है. स्टेटमेंट 1 इज ट्रू, ये भी रॉन्ग है. स्टेटमेंट नंबर 1 ये भी रॉन्ग है. तो आंसर होगा बोथ स्टेटमेंट 1 and 2 आर करेक्ट. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. इसका डिटेल्स तो मैंने क्लास में पूरा डिटेल्स में बोल दिया था, पूरा एक्सप्लेन किया था. अच्छा, व्हिच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग PGR इज यूज्ड टू स्पीड अप मेल्टिंग प्रोसेस? व्हाट इज मेल्टिंग? germinated cereal grains is called melting. Specifically germinated barley grains आर इज कॉल्ड मेल्टिंग. मेल्टिंग को स्पीड अप करने के लिए इफ यू स्प्रे Za3 जिबरेलिक एसिड if you spray to the to speed up the germination of barley grains in brewing industry, you have to spray जिबरेलिक एसिड. So जिबरेलिक एसिड कौन सा है यहाँ पे Za3. तो आंसर विल बी ऑप्शन नंबर 1. Next question, moving on to the next question. Which of the following is the major effect of deforestation? Increase carbon dioxide concentration. ये सही है. Alien species, no. Rise in groundwater, not at all. Increase in soil, no. So major effect क्या है? Increase carbon dioxide concentration. Answer is option number 1. Next question. Next question is mango trees, tuna fish, snow leopard, all are stenothermal organisms. Stenothermal. Euryhaline means those animals which can tolerate a wide range of salinities are called euryhaline. And stenothermal organisms are those organisms, steno means narrow, which can tolerate a narrow range of temperature. A narrow range of temperature. Stenothermal. Okay. Mango trees will you find in temperate countries? No. Tuna fish is found only in tropical oceans, not found in temperate ocean. Snow leopard is found in high altitude areas of mountain. So these are all stenothermal, and majority of the organisms are also stenothermal, including these. So eurythermal means those animals, a few organisms can tolerate a wide range of temperature. Can thrive in wide range of temperature. उसको eurythermal बोलता है. So answer will be option number 2. ठीक है, ये क्वेश्चन था इकोलॉजी का क्वेश्चन, ऑर्गेनिजम्स एंड पॉपुलेशंस का. So they are stenothermal. ठीक है. Next question. Xeric succession. Ecological succession you have learned in your classes. I have explained you nicely in the class. So Xeric succession as well as Xeric succession means succession which begins on a dry surface. That is succession which begins on a barren rocky surface is called Xeric succession. And succession which begins on a water body, biologically sterile water body is called hydrarch succession. But जो भी succession हो, hydrarch succession हो या Xeric succession हो, the final condition is medium water condition in the soil, that is mesic. So Xeric succession leads to mesic condition, and hydrarch succession leads also to mesic condition. ठीक है. So this is a question on ecosystem chapter. All ecological succession, whether starting or beginning on water or land, proceeds to a similar climax community, means final community, the mesic. Both Xeric and hydrarch succession leads to what? Mesic condition. Next question. In which one of the following population interaction none of the species is benefited in any way? That will be amensalism. क्योंकि amensalism is represented by -0. That means one organism is harmed, the other organism is not harmed nor benefited also. Not यहाँ पे क्या था? None of the species is what? Benefited in any way. So answer will be commensalism. Mutualism क्या होगा? Represented by plus. Commensalism +0 means one organism is benefited, the other organism not harmed nor benefited. ठीक है. Amensalism -0. Parasitism +0. Parasite is benefited, the host is harmed. ठीक है. तो ये होगा आंसर amensalism. ठीक है. ओके, तो ऑप्शन नंबर 3 होगा. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन नंबर 140. So least mass one will lead to oxine का कौन सा इफेक्ट होगा यहाँ पे? Oxine. When you apply oxine to the cut end of a twig or stem, it induces the formation of adventitious roots. That means it induces rooting on a twig. Gibberellic acid can bolt a rosette plant. ठीक है. Bolting phenomenon means increase internode elongation due to the action of promoted by gibberellic acid in plants having rosette habit is called bolting. And bolting in plants having rosette habit is caused by gibberellic acid, and bolting in these plants ultimately leads to flowering. So gibberellic acid is used to bolt a rosette plant. Cytokinin यहाँ पे कौन सा होगा? Induce growth of axillary bud to produce branches to make the plant bushy. ठीक है. So अच्छा, ethylene stimulates ripening of fruits. So A2, B1, C4, D3. ठीक है. D3. So answer will be option number 1. ठीक है. अच्छा, during DNA replication, the discontinuously synthesized DNA fragments called Okazaki fragments are later joined by an enzyme. कौन सा एंजाइम होगा? DNA ligase. यहाँ पे DNA ligase है, ये ऑप्शन नंबर 2 में है, ठीक है? So option number 2 will be the answer. Okay, and DNA ligase they paste the Okazaki segment to produce a intact lagging strand बनाता है, to make the intact lagging strand. So answer will be option DNA ligase. Option number 2. Sorry. ऑप्शन नंबर कहाँ गया? ऑप्शन नंबर 2, ठीक है? DNA ligase. Next question. A plant species growing in an area has male and female flowers on separate plants. मतलब ये plant कौन सा है? ये कैसा type of plant है? Monoecious plant. Then such condition, monoecious plants is a plant bearing both male and female flowers. तो ये plant species, ये plant species, sorry, very sorry children, a plant species growing in an area has male and female flowers on separate plant. मतलब the species is dioecious. Dioecious species में two sets of plant, separate male plant and separate female plant. Male plant bears male flower, female plant bear what? Female flowers. ठीक है? तो is condition. So dioecy is an adaptation. It is an outbreeding devices that prevents both autogamy as well as also prevent geitonogamy but cannot prevent xenogamy. तो ऐसा ऑप्शन है क्या इसमें से? तो prevent autogamy but not geitonogamy. No. So prevent both autogamy and geitonogamy but cannot prevent xenogamy. ये होगा आंसर, ठीक है? So ये तो wrong होगा. Promote both autogamy and geitonogamy but prevent no. So option number 2 होगा. So in dioecious species, male and female flowers are. So that is dioecy prevent both autogamy and geitonogamy, but not xenogamy. Geitonogamy means pollination occurring between two different flowers of the same plant. Autogamy means pollination occurring in the same flower, and xenogamy means transfer of pollen grain from the anther of a flower to the stigma of another flower located in a different plant. ठीक है? So answer will be option number 2. Question number 143 is assertion. Primary transcript in eukaryotes is non-functional. True. What is the name of the primary transcript? hnRNA. As I have told you today, few minutes ago, the primary transcript in eukaryote hnRNA is non-functional because of the presence of introns between the exons. ठीक है? Introns are separating the exons due to the introns in hnRNA do not code for any amino acid. So presence of introns makes the primary transcript called hnRNA in eukaryotes non-functional. ठीक है? Okay, and these introns and exons in hnRNA are copied from introns and exonic sequence present in the monocystonic structural genes of the transcription unit in eukaryote, and these monocystonic structural genes in the transcription units in eukaryotes are, as you know, they are called split genes. So due to split gene arrangement, the primary transcript in eukaryotes called hnRNA is being made non-functional. So monocystonic structural gene in the transcription units in eukaryotes is split. That means split gene. So this is and this is also the reason for the assertion. So both assertion and reason are true, and reason is also the correct explanation for assertion. So option number 1 will be the answer. Okay? Okay. Moving on to the next question. In a food chain, energy available to the herbivores is 2000 joule. Then the amount of energy which gets stored in the form of new biomass in tertiary consumer is maximally. See, herbivores are what? Primary consumer. This is a question on ecosystem chapter on energy transfer law. That is 10% energy transfer law, as you know. Herbivores are what? Consumers. They are also called primary consumers. Herbivores में कितना energy available हुआ in the form of biomass? 2000 joule of energy पूरा इस्तेमाल करके न्यू बायोमास बनाएगा क्या हर्बीवोर? नहीं, 10% को इस्तेमाल, इसका 10% ही यूटिलाइज होगा. सो 10% ऑफ 2000 इज 200 joule. So 200 joule will be stored in the form of biomass at primary consumer level, that is herbivores. Okay, so that means 200 joule will be available to the what? Secondary consumer. And secondary consumer 200 joule में से 10% इस्तेमाल करके न्यू बायोमास बनाएगा. तो 10% मतलब कितना होगा? 20 joule. And this 20 joule will be This 20 joule will be available to what? Tertiary what? Consumer. So how much of energy is available to the tertiary consumers? That is 20 joule. 20 joule में से 20 joule का 10% ही इस्तेमाल करेगा tertiary consumers to make and which get stored and formed. So 10% of 20 is 2 joule. So answer will be 2 joule. So this is a question on 10% energy transfer law of food chain, which I am discussing details in the class. ठीक है? Okay. Option number ये 3 होगा, ये 3 है, ठीक है? 10% law. Next question. Sclerenchymatous hypodermis, large number of scattered vascular bundles surrounded by sclerenchymatous bundle sheet, large number of conspicuous parenchymatous ground tissue, conjoined closely vascular bundle, water cavities within the vascular bundle. These are characteristic feature of which particular stem? That is monocot stem. So इसमें से कोई monocot stem है क्या? हाँ, option number 4 में है monocot stem. So answer will be option number 4. ठीक है? So this type of question may come for other organs also in anatomy chapter. So next question on another question on anatomy. Which of the following is an incorrect difference between hardwood and sapwood? So hardwood cannot conduct water and minerals. Only give mechanical support. True. Sapwood conducts water and minerals. True. Okay. Yes, सही है. Hardwood is darker in color. It is dark brown in color. True. Lighter in color. True. Hardwood is what? More durable and resistant to insects and microorganisms. यहाँ पे क्या less durable दिया है, less durable and susceptible, resistant नहीं दिया, susceptible दिया है, ठीक है? लेकिन यहाँ पे क्या दिया? sapwood is more durable, उल्टा दिया है, so ये wrong है, so it is, so ये होगा answer. Sapwood, hardwood is the secondary xylem, wood मतलब secondary xylem, hardwood is secondary xylem that occupies the central region of the stem. True. Okay, it is the secondary xylem that occupies the peripheral region of stem. So answer will be option number 3. So it is an incorrect difference between this hardwood and sapwood. Incorrect difference between hardwood and sapwood. Option number 3. Okay. Next question. Tubular proteins. It should be not tubular. It is tubulin. It is tubulin protein. Tubulin होना चाहिए. Please correct this student. Tubulin proteins are constituent of which one of the following cellular structure? Tubulin make what? Microtubules. Protein tubes called microtubules. And microtubules are structural constituents of centriole, correct? Cilia and flagella of eukaryotes, correct? Spindle apparatus is composed of spindle fibers. Spindle fibers are nothing but microtubules. ये भी correct है. Answer will be all of the above. Option number 4. ठीक है? So ये tubulin होना चाहिए. Tubulin proteins are constituents of microtubules, and microtubules organize centriole, cilia, flagella. Okay, ठीक है? Then next question. How many? This is a question on molecular basis of inheritance. How many of the different amino acids would be there in the polypeptide chain translated from a given stress of mRNA? So as you know, the genetic code carried by mRNA is read by tRNA molecule in the form of base triplets called codons. Okay. Most of the codons are amino acid codons, but 3 codons in the mRNA, 3 are stop codons. So what are the stop codons? Stop codons do not code. Stop codons in mRNA do not code for any amino acid. Okay, stop codon. UAA, stop codons are what? UAA, UAZ and UZA. So any of these 3 present in mRNA do not code for any amino acid. This will code for an amino acid. This is amino acid codon. This is amino acid codon. This is amino acid codon. And this is what codon? This is stop codon. So how many amino acids? How many different amino acids would be present here? So answer will be 4 different amino acids. So option number 4 होगा. ठीक है? Option number 3. Option number 3, that is how many different amino acids? 4. Option number 3. Excuse me. All of the following structures are found in eukaryotic cell that are also non-membranous. यूकैरियोटिक सेल में रहना पड़ेगा लेकिन नॉन मेम्ब्रेनस होगा. तो कौन है? सेंट्रियोल. गुड. राइबोसोम. गुड. Gas vacuole is non-membranous, but it is found in prokaryotic cells like blue-green algae cells, ग्रीन बैक्टीरिया, पर्पल फोटोसिंथेटिक बैक्टीरिया, लेकिन ये तो प्रोकैरियोट है तो इसलिए नहीं है। लेकिन ये यहां पे क्या पूछा है, लेकिन यू हाउ मेनी ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्ट्रक्चर्स आर फाउंड इन यूकैरियोटिक सेल। यूकैरियोटिक सेल में रहना होगा लेकिन नॉन मेम्ब्रेनस होना पड़ेगा, तो क्या होगा, सेंट्रियोल होगा, राइबोसोम होगा एंड न्यूक्लियोलस भी होगा। तो ठीक है, सो एक्सेप्ट दिया है, एक्सेप्ट कौन सा है, एक्सेप्ट इज गैस्ट्रिकल, ऑप्शन नंबर 3 इज द आंसर। ठीक है, ऑप्शन नंबर 3 इज द आंसर। तो सी द डिटेल्स ऑफ दिस चिल्ड्रेन। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, Dobson unit, Dobson unit, 1 Dobson unit is equal to 1 parts per billion, 1 dB, 1 du equal Dobson unit, 1 dB is 1 ppb parts per billion, and Dobson unit measures biochemical oxygen demand in polytechnical. Wrong. Intensity of noise in a area, it is measured by in terms of unit called decibel, not Dobson unit. Dobson unit is used to measure the thickness of ozone in a column of air from the ground to the top of the atmosphere. ठीक है, तो ये होगा सही आंसर। तो ये है आंसर, दिस ऑप्शन नंबर 3 होगा आंसर। अमाउंट ऑफ सस्पेंडेड पार्टिकुलर मैटर और पार्टिकुलर मैटर प्रेजेंस, सो आंसर विल बी ऑप्शन नंबर 3। ठीक है, option number 3. The thickness of ozone in a column of air from the ground to the top of the atmosphere is measured in terms of what? Dobson unit. So thank you very much children. All the best for your next test.